Before we get into the reading, I wanted to remind you guys, I'll have it in my description below. I'll have my website, Writing Spiritually, and I will have an article about manifesting a new relationship. It'll have journal prompts. It'll just like talk a little bit about how to manifest a good relationship for yourself. So whenever you watch this video, watch it, let it resonate with you, whatever it is you need to do. And then if you want to do the additional journaling prompts, I also have an little extra thing on there as well. Go ahead and go view it. Put it in your journal, do whatever it is you need to do to manifest positive relationships for your life. All right, so later. Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Madison. I do tarot and oracle readings, and I just give different types of messages that I feel compelled to do. This one will have some astrology elements to it, just kind of to help with the reading, but that's not really the focus for this particular reading. This is going to be about manifesting new relationships. Go ahead and take your 3 slow breaths, concentrating on where you are in relationships right now and what exactly it is that you feel that you need to work on. When you're ready, select from decks 1, 2, or 3, and then go ahead and go down into the comment section where you can find a timestamp that'll take you straight to your reading. I hope you enjoy your reading, and I'll see you at it. Okay, for group 1, let's just go ahead and throw the relationship cards out first. So we can kind of see what we're dealing with, and then we'll, draw things together as we go. So the 3 cards I have in front of me is fear-based. So that tells me some of the issues that you guys might be dealing with your relationships might be fear-based. This doesn't have to be romantic relationships either. This can be friends or family. We have spontaneous here. So somebody in the relationship is spontaneous. And then we also have separation needed. So this tells me that sometimes these fear-based things pop up in the relationship and they seem like random. They seem spontaneous. And whoever has the fear-based issues, whether it's you or the other person, they need some type of separation so that they can figure out exactly what's going on with them. So if it's you, you're going to need some time apart to figure out what's going on. If you're looking for external validation, then it's not going to help you solving your own problems, if that makes sense. So that's something to kind of think about. We'll get more information as we go. Ooh, we have Venus here, the planet of love and pleasure. Okay. So that tells me for some of you guys that you might be suffering in that area currently whenever it comes to love and pleasure. Maybe look up what your Venus placement is, and it can kind of give you like maybe a little bit idea of something that you're supposed to be working on. We have Yarrow here, dream, charm, and allure. So with Venus being here as well, so that's like Taurus and Libra energy for sure from the Venus. And Yarrow is kind of giving, we have Gemini here as well. Hold on, I'm going to read from the book in a second. But magical tools we have is salt. So barrier, shelter, and sacred space. The mantra for Yarrow is, my dreams and desires are attracted to me and come at my request. And for salt we have, I am safe and protected. Okay, so that tells me that for some of you guys, because we have the safe and protected, the shelter, sacred space with the fear-based. So that means that whenever you are going through this fear-based thing with this person, I'm getting the feeling now that it might be you that's having these fear-based ideas, that it might be important for you to remind yourself that you are safe and create situations or a sacred space for yourself where you're like, okay, this is where I can be safe. This is where I can be myself, And just kind of have like that thing that you can turn to whenever you're not feeling safe and you feel fear creeping in, like fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, anything else that might be your particular issue. And then for dream, charm, and allure over here, that goes with Venus. I mean, that's what Venus is all about. Like if your Venus is in Libra or if it's in Taurus, then it's in its home, they connect well. So that means that It's a lot easier for you to be charming. It's a lot easier for you to get people interested in you and stuff like that. But with this fear-based issue going on, it's not going to like make any good relationships for you. So it might be time to kind of like separate a little bit and go out on your own and maybe show yourself some love is what I'm getting here, is like self-love. So we have release self-doubt, let go of fear. So we have this other message of fear here again. I am the dreamer of my dreams. So we have something else about dreams here. So this means that whatever it is that you're wanting to happen for yourself, it's something that you like, you have this really strong attachment to it. It's like, it's a dream of yours for this thing to happen, but you have to separate yourself from it so you can figure out exactly what it is that you're meant to be taken to, not exactly what you want. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. That's going to be over here with that fear-based and creating a safe and sacred place for yourself. New moon in Aquarius, bring love into the situation. Okay, so more love, less fear. Okay, let's get an idea of what this dream relationship is that you might be looking for. This could be friendship or this could be romantic relationship, but there's some type of dream that it is that you're looking for, that this separation is needed for you to gain. So we have Knight of Wands here. So this tells me that you want to play an active role in a relationship and you want it to be one that is passionate and driven. You don't want to like be, you know, a cactus to somebody where like they just kind of like forget about you and don't water you. That's not something that you want. You want somebody who's like very active, very passionate about you, somebody who focuses on you and gives you quality time, and that's kind of like your dream of what you want. We also have here 10 of Cups. That's the ultimate, like, everybody in the family gets along well together. Everything's working out the way that you want it to be. And I get the feeling that you have, like, a perfect family mindset or, like, the perfect friendship group or something like that. There's something that you're dreaming of that you really want. Okay, but I think for that to happen, we have to find balance. So if you're coming from a place of fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, then you're not going to be bringing as much love to the table as maybe the other person might be. So this can cause an imbalance in the relationship. And whenever someone is giving more than the other one, the universe finds a way to cut it off because that is not a mutually beneficial relationship. You have to give and take, you know. The universe is all about balance. And then I have 5 of Cups here reversed. So that tells me that there's a relationship that's over for you right now. And I get the feeling that you're trying to get over it. Like it was a really difficult relationship for you. And I feel like there was a lot of fear-based conflict in the relationship. So that was something that you are probably going to have to work on with your manifestation, is how can I find balance and how can I soothe myself through these fear-based tactics that I use in these relationships? Why do I keep finding myself in these relationships where I react this way? We got 10 of Cups again. This tells me that this is definitely possible for you, the 10 of Cups life that you want. But you're going to have to separate yourself from dating for a little while, I think. You know, like I'm just kind of getting that vibe that you need to take some time away and figure out what exactly it is that you want. And not like move spontaneously, not just like move on from like this person to this person. Like, oh, I feel something with this person. Oh, I'm not really done with that person yet, but now I like this other person. You know, we kind of get like cluttered in our head whenever like we're looking for a specific thing and we're not actually looking for a person, you know? We're not like actually like getting to know the person. We're just like kind of like putting labels that we want onto somebody. And then whenever they don't fit it, we get confused because we're like, I have these labels for you. I see you as this person. I see you could be this person. Why aren't you being it? You know? And it's like, that's just not the way that we can manifest good relationships. I have Page of Cups here. So yeah, that tells me that you're a little bit closed off to opening yourself up emotionally to somebody in a relationship. I feel like you kind of want it to be like just more of like physical, or you want to be able to put in the bare minimum and have the relationship just flourish, but you can't do that. You have to like put in an equal amount that you want back. So for you, manifesting this new relationship is going to be important for you to write down, what am I afraid of? How have the people in my life who have perpetuated my fears? Because we're not afraid of nothing, you know? We're afraid that this thing's going to happen. We kind of pursue people that show signs of things that we're comfortable of. So let's say in childhood we were abandoned by one of our parents, whether emotionally, physically, whatever. Then we end up pursuing people who are emotionally unavailable. And then the whole time we're with them, we are comfortable because it feels like home. It feels like our family. But at the same time, we're so scared they're going to do what our family did. So whenever you date somebody who isn't like either of your parents, there's a fear there, of course, because it's like, this is unknown, I don't understand. But there's a different kind of settlement there, because you're not afraid that this person is going to do what your parents have done, because they're nothing like them. I have the Empress reversed here. So this tells me that you might have this dream of this like perfect relationship, but I get the feeling that you might give too much. And that's where a lot of that fear might come from, is because like you're giving so much and you want the relationship to go a certain way, and you have these ideas of how the relationship is supposed to go. And you might even use your charm, and sometimes I get the feeling that you do get what you want for a little while, you know? But reality comes setting in whenever this person isn't a dream person. This person isn't made up or fabricated. It's a real person. And so whenever the conflicts actually come, like they always will, every relationship has conflict. It just depends on what type of conflict you want to deal with, you know? Do you want to be with somebody where you're both doing shadow work? Because that would be the ultimate, right? Is somebody who is fighting their unhealthy conditions in order to be a better person, be a better partner to you, hopefully a better parent to your future child, things like that. Or do you want to be with somebody where you guys fight about, like, who are you talking to? Where did you go? Why aren't you answering your phone? You know, like, what is it that you don't want in your next relationship? What are things that have hurt you in the past, or patterns you saw with your parents and their relationships that you don't want in your future relationships? I have Ace of Wands reversed here too. So that tells me that because of this relationship that ended, I get the feeling that you aren't feeling very passionate at this moment. Like you maybe feel like blocked, like maybe you don't deserve the right things or something like that. And just a reminder that you do deserve your dream. You do deserve this perfect, you know, well, not perfect, nothing's perfect, but you do deserve like a very abundant family life, a very abundant family system. And in order to have that as an adult, we do have to do the work to fight our conditioning. Like nobody's parents are perfect, you know, especially with like the way that our parents did not know about psychology. They did not know about themselves. They don't know that they have shadow work. You know, a lot of them are starting very late in their life, if they even are, because sometimes it's too late in people's lives to do shadow work. Like the ego is so strong that it can cause like panic attacks. It can cause like long episodes of depression. It can cause spiraling, you know, all these things that like we know it causes because that's what we go through whenever we do our shadow work. But for them, they're adding on, you know, however much older they are than you, adding on that much more of them living with the ego. So it's hard for them to confront the ego. It's hard for them to do shadow work. So we can't really expect it from them, but just because they're struggling at the level that they are doesn't mean that it's impossible for you. You are not your parents. You are a different entity. And whenever you give birth, your child will be different from you. They won't be the same as you. They will be on a different level, and they will be an evolved version of you because they are living in a future self. Like as the collective continues to progress, they are at the future of that. So in the ways that your parents might have lacked, you will lack as well, if that makes sense. I just felt compelled to say that because I kind of feel like from this that I feel like because you're kind of a dreamy person, like I'm getting like Pisces vibes, because you're a very dreamy person and you aren't getting what you feel that your dream is, you know? And you feel like you're putting in so much time and effort and you're not reaping the rewards of what you think that you deserve, that it makes you feel like, what's the point? You know? And I just kind of want to remind you that life isn't all about happiness and dreams. Life is about suffering as well. So this shadow work is important because it is your guide to happiness and freedom. It's within you. You know, you are the person who holds it back from yourself. So a reminder is that you do deserve these things. You just have to do the hard shadow work that it takes to get it done. You know, Don't expect yourself to be like your parents. Don't expect yourself to fail, because they lived a different existence than you did. They lived a different reality than you did. So don't compare yourself to that, because I just get the feeling that I feel like you're kind of like the type of person who's like, oh, it's never happened to me, so it's not going to. But don't put yourself in that mindset. It hasn't happened for you yet, you know? There's plenty of lessons to learn. And really learn. Because I feel like for a lot of people in relationships, they'll keep doing the same thing. Also, I mean, you're not alone. Plenty of people do this. I have done this before too. You keep doing the same thing. And you're like, why? I'm being stronger with my boundaries. I'm growing as a person. I'm, telling people no, but people keep abandoning me. And it's like, yeah, you're not changing them. You're changing you. So you can have the strongest boundaries in the world, but if you're dating somebody or really good friends with somebody who refuses to respect boundaries, then that person can't be in your life. It doesn't matter how strong your boundaries are, because at the end of the day, if they challenge them every single day, that is still a boundary that they are breaking. Because boundaries don't need to be repeated and reset and reset and reset. Sure, you can remind somebody every once in a while, especially a family member, because older family members kind of have a hard time dealing with boundaries. But because they just don't really understand them. They gave up their whole life for their families. They expect, the younger generations to do the same, not realizing that that wasn't good for them, but that's okay. So yeah, I feel like it's really important for you to do that work and that shadow work in order to get your dream life, because you do deserve it. You just have to do the work to get it. So good luck. Add some of that stuff into your manifestations. With Venus going into Cancer, it's going to be a really good time in August of 2020 to kind of start manifesting that stuff. So good luck to you. Leave a comment if this resonated to let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hey, group 2, let me pull these relationship cards out first so we can just kind of see what we're dealing with first off, and then we'll start drawing connections from there. I got a little ranty on my last one, so I'm going to try to not do that with this one. Also, I'm probably going to edit. But this is the second video I've recorded today, so maybe my energy is just kind of all over the place, but that's fine. Okay, so what we got here is we have all about you. And this is in a good way. There's somebody in your life who, they're all about you, totally 100%. And this person you're also on the same page with. You guys are, got it done, But I also have the player here. So let's see how that fits out into this reading, because so far these are 2 different messages. So you could be dealing with 2 different relationships. You could be the player in this relationship. Just got to figure out where the player fits for you, and then as we continue to add to it, we'll see what's going on. But you do have somebody who is all about you. Also, this relationship reading doesn't have to necessarily be about manifesting a romantic relationship. It can be about manifesting a peaceful relationship with your family or friends or something like that. So we have Pluto here. Power and transformation. So I feel like that's where some of your work is going to have to be coming from right now, is Pluto. Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio, so think Scorpio energy, death and rebirth, things like that. Scorpios are pretty good at shedding their old skin because they have to adapt a lot. It's kind of dark themes. And definitely letting things go is the message here. We have get creative and excite your imagination with wonder. We'll see how that fits in. We have white sage, sacred cleansing purification. That's going to be over here with this player card. And then I also have last quarter, vulnerability, surrender, and letting go. So we're having to let go. There's some sort of transformative energy going on here. I'm getting the connection that the get creative and excite your imagination with wonder is to use this transformational period that you're in currently to use it as a creative tool. That's what I'm getting, like, right away. And that is also, like, with this all about you, this on the same page, like, relationship. We have, when I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. That's over here with player. So if we are able to, if you are the player, honestly, I am getting the vibe that there's two people. For some of you guys, there's two people that you're talking to. One of them is the player who's definitely not good for you. And I feel like you need to cleanse yourself of this person. And then we have another person who's all about you. You guys are on the same page. You guys like vibe, but for some reason you're afraid. And I feel like this person will also spark creativity in you, and that's important. But when we focus on external validation instead of our inner light, that can lead us to toxic relationships, because if we look for external validation, usually abusers can see that we're looking for it. They're like, oh, this person is kind of like a desperation or like a neediness that I can exploit. They don't even really do it on purpose, honestly. Abusive people live on an instinctual level that is fear-based. So they're constantly looking for protective places where they can go to get a secure supply. So if you're somebody who's looking for external validation, don't feel bad. I've done it as well. Whenever you like want somebody to see you as good, you just want somebody to love you. You just like, want somebody to like really see you because nobody ever sees you. That is external validation. You got to see yourself, you got to validate yourself, because if you like are thinking that stuff, you're going to meet somebody, friends, relationships, even family members can exploit this. You're going to meet people who will be like, I see you. I really see you. And then because you feel seen, you want to be close to this person, so you start doing things for them. And then whenever the devaluing stage starts, you're already in it with this person, At this point, you have cognitive dissonance. You believe that this person is a really good person because it's what they've shown you. So when they start devaluing you and things start going downhill, then that's whenever it really starts to hit us, and we have to start doing the shadow work, because we start to realize that it's like, oh, I was totally wrong about this person. Why was I wrong about them? And it's like, it's because you were seeking external validation and they gave it to you to exploit you, And don't feel bad for doing that. We all do it. We all have to learn to not do it, basically. It's part of our conditioning. So whenever you have that inner light, you look at the world through love. You don't look at it through fear. Like, I'm so afraid nobody's ever going to love me. You won't look at it that way. You'll look at it as like, I am love and love is all around me. I know that's hard to think of whenever you're in it, but doing the shadow work will help you feel this way. We have, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. That card is going to be over here with that creative energy and this person who is all about you and on the same page. If you haven't met this person yet, I think that they will be the next romantic interest that you will have, because I feel like this player person, I feel like you're already pretty much kind of done with this person. You just kind of needed to hear it. So here is my sign to you, that you don't need to be an option for anybody. You totally deserve to be with somebody who's all about you, somebody who's on the same page as you. The only thing you guys ever argue about is you're both doing shadow work. So just kind of like keeping each other accountable, things like that. Like, you don't deserve to have petty arguments in a relationship constantly. We have third quarter moon. So we have this message twice. Adjustments are required. Surrendering and letting go, and that's over with this player here. So say goodbye to the player. Let them go, because they are not giving you love, and what you deserve and what you should give and get is love. Okay. We have the Hermit here. So this tells me that for some of you guys, it's going to be important for you to kind of spend some time alone for a little bit and be introspective. Ask yourself why you keep ending up here. What's going on? Like, why am I drawn to these relationships that obviously don't serve me? And, don't shame yourself. Don't put blame on yourself. It's not your fault, You're conditioned to feel this way, to be drawn to people like that for whatever reason. So it's important to do that introspective work and kind of like work on it and figure out like, okay, how do I end up here? Yes, ready to walk away from this relationship, and this will be a transformation for you. You will gain power from ending this toxic relationship. So kudos to you, because that is so hard. And the next person you meet will be your soulmate. Soulmate connection here. So the next person you meet who's all about you guys are on the same page, it's because you're soulmates. You guys know each other from a past life. I do get the feeling here, though, that you do feel kind of like you don't really have any, like, good friendships right now. You don't have anybody that you feel like you can exactly, like, turn to. And I feel like that comes from that, like, lack of an inner light. Because we choose bad friendships, too. It's not just romantic relationships. We'll be friends with people who make us feel bad. We'll be friends with people who, like, are fake, but we don't realize they're fake because we can't see it. We don't know what fake looks like. So, like, if you're, like, a really honest person and, like, you just want people to see that you're a good person and you try to do nice things for people because you want them to see that you're good. Because I also have Virgo here, and that is such a Virgo thing. But when you do all that stuff, you just end up attracting people who just take. They just take and take and take. And then they'll kind of breadcrumb you at some point. They'll eventually be like, oh, I guess I gotta, like, give her a little bit of attention so she sticks around. Oh, yeah, you're cool, you know? And then it ends up hurting. So it is better for, like, I feel like that's going to be another part of your isolation, too, with these people, with friendships, is, like, I feel like you are going to go through a really huge transformational period for yourself, and it might feel like you're starting over, but who knows, you could get back in contact with old friends you had that you were close to, that you guys separated for whatever reason, you know, and stuff like that. I feel like you're going to start meeting people who are more of your tribe, more of your people, and you'll meet your soulmate through that. Yeah, I get the feeling here that you feel like you don't have many options. This 7 of Cups reversed. You feel like you're very limited in your options. Like, you have to do this thing or you're going to be alone. I also have Knight of Wands reversed, too, so that tells me that, like, you're not feeling like you want to go for it, and that includes with this new relationship, and that's fine. You will meet this person when you're ready. So don't worry that you're going to meet them and you won't be ready, and then, like, you're going to mess it up, and then you'll completely miss your opportunity to be with your soulmate. Like, don't worry about that. That's not how it's going to be. I got Wheel of Fortune reversed. So that tells me that this is a part, like, this is meant to happen. Ending it with this person, and this person was meant to teach you a lesson, and the toxic relationships you are in are also for that reason as well. And I know that sucks because it also feels like I've already done all the karma work, you know, why do I keep on having to do karma work? But it's like, it's because you're learning different depths of it. You learn to establish boundaries before you learn to hold them, you know? And then and you get challenged with it, you know? You finally learned how to establish boundaries, and then you meet somebody who on the surface acts like they understand your boundaries. They're like, oh yeah, 100%, yeah, definitely, put yourself first, blah, blah. And then that person, in subtle ways, tries to break your boundaries over and over again, so then you're meant to learn a lesson of what it means to actually hold it. Because it's very different to set one and to hold it, you know? Lots of people say they respect your boundaries, and they actually don't. And they believe it when they tell you. Like, when they tell you, they're like, oh yeah, 100%. They really believe that. But then whenever they get scared and they have a fear-based reaction, they're going to look for external validation. So they're going to try to make you drop everything to validate them. And then whenever you can't, for whatever reason, they're upset now and they're breaking your boundaries because they want you to put them first in this moment, you know? And it's like, you're not meant for that. You don't exist to validate other people. So, you know, just a reminder of that. And then we have Page of Swords here reversed too. And that tells me that, yeah, you don't know how to speak up for yourself right now. You don't know how to express what exactly it is that you want. You don't know how to express your boundaries very well. So I feel like it's important for you to learn how to do these things and try it out in different ways, and allow yourself to be vulnerable, and allow yourself to let this past like toxic relationship or these friendships or whatever you might be feeling you need to let go ahead and let go of them. They're not meant to serve you, you know? And you might be isolated and lonely for a little while, but it's part of your life path and it's part of your lessons. So embrace it. something that I like to do, you know, like if you're not really hanging out with friends, because I've gone through a few isolation periods as well before I meet like new friends that are on my level. But whenever you go through those isolation periods, in a way it's kind of fun because it's like you can do whatever you want. Nobody's there to tell you anything. You don't have any plans with anybody. You can go to the store and get what you want. You can work on whatever crafts you want. You can cook what you want to eat. You don't have to answer to anybody. And it's kind of like an important time during that time to embrace yourself, get to know yourself, love yourself, show yourself love. And I feel like that is what you're meant to do right now. And those actions will lead you to fulfilling friendships, and they will also lead you to a soulmate connection. So good luck. Leave a comment to let me know if that resonated with you. And I will see you next time. Bye. Hello, group 3. Let's go ahead and pull out the relationship cards first so we can see what we're working with. And then we'll just kind of work from there and see what comes out. But we have... Okay, we got minor setback. So there's something going on in your relationship that has set you back. This reading could have to do with family, friends, or romantic relationships, just whatever you're trying to manifest. But we have a minor setback for you. We also have a discovery period, so you're kind of like discovering a new part of yourself, or maybe your inner true self. And I also have express yourself more clearly. So maybe you're feeling like in relationships, like you're like, how come I'm not getting what it is I feel that I deserve? And it's like, maybe you're not expressing yourself clearly enough, you know? And that could come from fear of what people will think when you actually do express yourself clearly. So don't be afraid to be yourself. We got 10th house here, so career, status, and power. That's something that is important in your relationships at this point. It's also with this discovery period. Okay, so this tells me that career-wise, you're coming into yourself. And that might be part of what you're transitioning into right now. And maybe also a part of the setback. Maybe something that you feel like you have to have established boundaries around with people. Something like that is what I'm getting with this 10th house here. We have Algiz, guardianship, security, higher self. So your higher self is looking out for you. And whenever you express yourself more clearly, your higher self will be there to help you, like help guide you with this conversation. We also have red candle here, so strength, passion, and intensity. And that's with this minor setback. Treat yourself to something beautiful today. So put yourself first. And if you need to put yourself first, be able to express that to somebody clearly. Like it's like, I just need a me day. My fearless freedom lights up the world. So yeah, let's not be afraid to tell people what we need. And then we have the universe has my back. And that is with this minor setback again here. So there's some type of strength you're meant to learn from this. But remember, the universe has your back. Ooh, super moon. Emotions are running high. So whatever it is you're going through, you're feeling it emotionally, like big time. Okay, we got 9 of Wands twice. This was a misprint with this deck, but I'm totally fine with it because sometimes people need this message twice. But this has to do with boundaries. So we said express yourself more clearly, right? And then we have boundaries here twice. Defend your energy. Treat yourself when you need to, you know? Don't feel guilty. I also have 6 of Cups reversed. That tells me that you're kind of in a spot right now where you don't feel like you can really give emotionally. And it's with that strength and passion and intensity here. And then I also have 4 of Wands, but reversed. So that tells me that there's not really much celebration going on here. So this minor setback really set you back like a lot. Okay, so before I pull more cards, because this reading is going by really fast, let's make some connections because I feel like you guys really do need help with your boundary setting. I feel like there's something going on with your career right now. There's something you're trying to pursue. And I'm getting the feeling right now that maybe the relationship that you're in, these people, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, these people aren't really like being helpful to you. They're not really proud of you either. I get the feeling that they might be kind of jealous. And they're not listening to you whenever you say that you need space, or whenever you say that you need to focus on something that has to do with your career. They're trying to hold you back from it for whatever reason. And it's making you feel emotional. It's making you feel scattered. That's why it's important for you to establish these boundaries twice as hard, you know? And make sure to put yourself first. So treat yourself to something, just you. Go get yourself a coffee. Don't be like, hey, you want a coffee too? Like, no, like just for you. And, yeah, allow yourself to rest, because this Six of Cups reversed tells me that you are not in the mood for sharing. You're not in a place where you can share. You're like emotionally stifled. You're emotionally hurt. And you feel like, and at this point, like in the current state that you're in, you can't fix what the setback is. You're too upset. So for manifesting with your relationships here, it's definitely like, since career is so important to you, I would look up your 10th house, by the way, and see what's in there. But what's important to you has to come first. And for you, your career, I feel like, comes first. And that might be something you're discovering for yourself as well. Like, maybe you thought you could, like, juggle a bunch of things, and then now you're realizing that, like, no, I could lose my career if I don't focus on it. And that's fine, but we also have that fearless freedom lights up the world thing over here. So yeah, you need space to be free to do what it is that you feel you need to do. So in your relationships, whenever you manifest new relationships, it has to be with people who give you freedom. You might have mutable placements in your chart as well. People with mutable placements need freedom. Or air, if you have air in your chart as well. These people need to be able to change their mind last minute, or do this, or focus on something else. They don't need somebody like with them. Okay, we have 9 of Coins here. So this tells me that you do have abundance. And I feel like it's coming from your career, which is why it's so important to you. And I also have here that you're on like a very long journey, and it's difficult, but it's okay. It'll be worth it. The work you're doing will be worth the reward at the end. And I feel like it's important for you to stay strong and continue to do what you are passionate about. I have 5 of Cups reversed. So it tells me that there was the end of something, but you're moving on from it. I get the feeling that you don't really want to be like caught up in it too much. And then we have 7 of Coins reversed here too. So this tells me too that you put a lot of time and effort into this relationship with this person, and then you didn't get the abundance that you felt that you deserved, but now you're just kind of like, whatever. Like, you're ready to move on. So I'm getting a really like more like apathetic energy from you guys watching for group number 3. So I think for your relationship, it's going to be really important for you to have somebody who respects you and respects your career, respects your freedom. So whenever you're manifesting a new relationship, make sure that that's a part of your manifestations. Like, I want somebody who allows me to be free. And then remember that in your future relationships, you know, have a list of red flags, times whenever you were in a controlling relationship or friendship, or if you have a controlling parent or something like that. Make a list of the things that they did that made you feel not safe because they wanted to control you. And then whenever you go into future relationships, you can just kind of have that in your mind. So whenever someone shows the red flag, you know that this is like, okay, this needs to be seriously talked about. And if this is not respected, then this relationship cannot continue, you know? And that's not you being mean. That's not you being harsh. That's not you not expressing love to somebody. That's you expressing love to yourself at the highest level, you know? We can love somebody so much, but if they don't respect our boundaries, what is the point? You know? What's the point of sharing a bed with somebody who does not respect you? You know, point blank. So, it's not really about like an ultimatum, because it's not an ultimatum. It's just legitimately like, okay, you can't meet my needs that I need in a relationship to feel safe. So I'm going to go be with somebody who can, you know? And you will meet somebody who can. There are other people who also care about career, or they want to hype you up. You can totally meet people that want to hype you up. They want you to do great and succeed. So I feel like that's important, and that's what you need in your relationships and something to manifest. Okay. If that resonated, please leave a comment to let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.